It's week 2 of high school football playoffs here in Northwest Ohio. Can Central Catholic, the Fighting Irish, continue their winning ways? They'll have to get through Northview first. Plus, St. Francis battled it out in week 1 to see another day, and it comes against the Anthony Wayne Generals. We're breaking down all of that and more right now on the 419 Football Show. Another week, another 419 Football Show. I'm Dannie Rogers, and once again, I'll try to tame Mike Robinson and John Gibson, the high school football gurus in Northwest Ohio. Well, maybe we can even say in the state of Ohio. But we're just going to keep this
like that
wrapped up in the Toledo, Northwest Ohio area.
Respect.
You're a kid from Akron, aren't you, JG?
I'm just a kid from Akron.
I love it. I respect you already just for you saying that. You have my respect. All right. It's week 2 of playoffs, and we talked about it last week. This is the best week because a lot of the good teams in the area got byes, and they finally get to hit the field this week. However, we got to recap last week, week 1 of playoffs, because there were some upsets both on the winning and losing ends. Let's head to Division 1 first. Where there is a very big upset, I thought, in my opinion. But let's start. Number 9, or Findlay, seeded 9, went up against an 8-seed Springboro. They lost 28-19, so Matthew P's inaugural season as the Trojans head coach has come to an end. And then Whitmer, their season has ended due to Springfield crushing their dreams. Whitmer was a 14 seed, Springfield a 3 seed. Yeah, they lost 27-17. And here is an upset. 5 seed Perrysburg loses to 12 seed Kettering Fairmont 42-14. I checked my Twitter when I saw this happening. I could not believe my eyes. What did you two think when you saw this score Friday night?
My first thought was what happened, what went wrong. Something you knew there was something that had to be really wrong to let a team come into your stadium in the first round of the playoffs and do that. And then, finding out that, Goljan didn't play, it made a whole lot more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's tough. You put the young quarterback Takis out there. He did a good job, orchestrating this offense. Again, you want to have your senior leader on the field anytime you can. But on the flip side, the silver lining, that's good for the young quarterback. That experience in that kind of a game, that kind of environment, it could be frightening. It could be a nightmare as well. But I think it's going to help that young guy because he's only a sophomore. So I like that offense. I like how they battled back a little bit, but Fairmont was just dominating. They were really good up front, and they stayed true to their disciplines.
Yeah, just a crazy way for Perrysburg to end their season. I had them going so far. But if you want to watch more Perrysburg football, they will actually take on Avon this Friday. It does not count for anything. Avon is in a different division. They're in Division 2. They're actually the 1 seed in their region. And the team that they were supposed to play for playoffs, week 2, forfeited. So they had a bye week in week 2, and they scheduled Perrysburg in that. And
Oh,
that's
wow.
all I have to add. Yes, it is. It's wow. A potential state playoff team hosting Perrysburg. I know nothing else about that. I haven't asked anyone, but there it is. That's all laid out for you for your interpretation to say more wows too. Okay, let's go to Division 2. I'll stop talking. St. John's, they are a 4 seed. They are set up very well to make a big tournament run, especially with their senior quarterback, Brady Lichtenberg, at the helm. He's a Cincinnati commit, the best quarterback in the area. And they will take on Barberton, who is a 13 seed. Titans are a 4 seed. That'll happen at St. John's Place this Friday, 7 p.m. So I'm looking forward to that. They will get the winner of Brecksville Broadview Heights, who is a 5 seed, and Clay, Oregon Clay. So Clay was a 21 seed. This is a nice upset. They defeated Parma Heights Valley Forge last Friday, 27-26. A 21 seed beat a 12 seed. So Clay, their hopes are still alive, the Eagles. And if they can beat a 5 seed, they will take on the Titans. That we will have to see. All right, moving on. Northview, a 15 seed, dominated Springfield, who is an 8 seed, 29-10. So the Wildcats are advancing to play 2 seed Central Catholic. So this will be a good one. Central Catholic, they took, a 22-day hiatus. They were getting the COVID-19 stuff situated. Most of it not to their own fault, but they're back in action. So we'll have to see those 2 area teams, Central taking on Northview. And then this is a big game. We love this game as well. It's a big game too, because St. Francis, they're a 10 seed. They beat North Ridgeville last Friday, who's a 23 seed, 38-0. Defense is on fire right now. And St. Francis, I'm so pumped for this game, will take on 7 seed Anthony Wayne at the General's Place this Friday. I am so pumped for that game. How pumped are you guys?
I'm excited because I'll be on the call for that game along with you, Danny, for this Anthony Wayne St. Francis game, and we saw this game last year. And the Anthony Wayne and St. Francis put up a good game against a very good Anthony Wayne team. And this is another step in that maturation process for Chip Strom in that St. Francis program. This is probably the biggest game that they've had in his tenure, where they're actually going to have a chance to really go in here and make a statement and build a program that says, hey, you may want to look at St. Francis if you're thinking about football.
Did you just call Dan Chipka Chip Strom?
Dan Chipka, I'm sorry. I knew it was Chip. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Okay. I'm sorry.
It's fine. We get it.
Sorry,
friends.
Coach Chipka.
They're friends.
Sorry.
They're friends. Hey,
I got you.
right.
Got you.
Mike Robb, how pumped are you to see this game from the studio?
I wish I could get out to the field a little bit more, or see a single game a little bit more. When you bounce
Sorry,
back
Mike
and
Robb,
forth from.
you're making the big bucks. Sorry.
Exactly.
When you're going back and forth from 9 or 8 different games, you want to tune into a game like St. Francis and Anthony Wayne, where these are 2 teams who battle each other year in, year out, non-conference. The past 2 years, Anthony Wayne has got the advantage over St. Francis. In 2018, I think they won 42 to 7 or something like that. And then last year they got 22-10. It was kind of closer. But I think St. Francis has closed that gap a little bit more each and every year. And Anthony Wayne is kind of on an off year, so to say. And St. Francis has been turning up a little bit. I think this matchup is going to be down to coaching. I think St. Francis has the tools. I like McCoy. I like what he can do. Charles Green on the defensive line, BCSM pick of the week, player of the week. Charlie Moorhead. They have the tools to be successful. Can their coaches put them in position to make this game happen?
Yeah, I think that's very key, Mike. I think the talent is there at St. Francis as long as they are not – as long as they don't turn green under the limelight. I think they're going to be it's going to be a good football game. I cannot wait to get on this call with Mason and Danny. This is one of those games that we've been waiting to have happen. We've been waiting for a game like this, a major clash between 2 local teams in the state playoffs.
I love it. All right, we'll divulge more into that big matchup. Let's head over to Division 3 to catch up on last week. We had Southview, they've had an off year. 18 seed going up against Mansfield Senior, 15 seed. The score of this game was 7-3 in Mansfield Senior's favor, so they will move on to take on 2 seed Ashland. Bowling Green, they got a bye week. They're a 3 seed. They'll take on 19 seed Defiance. I love the Bobcats' chances of advancing in the state playoffs. And then Mommy, a 22 seed, also had a rough season. They took on Caledonia River Valley, an 11 seed. Ooh, and they lost 69-6. That is a real score. So that's your Division 3, Bowling Green.
They got on the board.
Obviously, yeah, they got on the board.
They put numbers on the board.
I mean, that could be 2 field goals. It could be a touchdown. Who knows? They did get on the board. That's all that matters. So Bowling Green, that is like the only team we're really paying attention to in Division 3. Dirk Hunter's Bobcats. So pumped for them. All right, let's move on to Division 4. This one's locked and loaded for us. Rossford last week, a 15 seed, took on Worcester Triway, an 18 seed. They got the win. Rossford did 44-34. Big one for them. So they will take on 2 seed Shelby at their place this Friday at 7 p.m. Napoleon, they are a 7 seed. They also received a bye week, which is really good for them. All of their injuries. Jarrett Gerdeman, I haven't got an update on him, but everyone was expecting him back for this week, so we'll see if that's true. So Napoleon, a 7 seed, will take on Oberlin Firelands, who is a 10 seed, and they'll do it at Napoleon's place. I'm pumped to see how far they can go. And then Bryan, a 14 seed. We care about Bryan, right?
A little bit, a little something.
Okay,
something
just a little.
while.
So I'll just throw in an extra score. Bryan, a 14 seed, took on 19 seed Lorraine Clearview. They won 42-12. They'll take on Huron, who is a 3 seed. And then Clyde, they are 11 seed. Ooh, they dominated Sheffield Brookside, who is a 22 seed, 42-6. So now Clyde will take on Wauseon, who is a 6 seed. And that wraps up Division 4. Let's head to Division 5.
Can I touch on Division 4? One game, the Clyde game.
Yes.
Watch out for Clyde. That team is good. I think they beat Wauseon this week coming up. Remember, they won the state championship last year. The pedigree is there.
Yeah, I mean, this Clyde program has been good for years. They've put out a number of big-name players. They've put some championships on the board. There are banners hanging in that Clyde Flyers gymnasium, and this is a program that, like you said, Mike, watch out for them. This is not the year that they've been making a whole lot of noise, but they've got championship experience, and they've got that know-how.
All righty, I love it. Okay. Where was I on? Division 4 or Division 5? Let's go to Division 5. All righty. We'll start with Fostoria. Wow, there's a lot of there are 25 seed. They took on Richwood North Union, an 8 seed. They lost 48-0. Genoa, a 9 seed, took on Brooklyn at a 24 seed. Genoa advanced with a 55-0 win. Heck yeah. So Genoa will take on Richwood North Union at North Union's place. 8 seed going up against a 9 seed. Should be a good one. Oak Harbor, 13 seed, took on 20 seed Doyleston Chippewa. Oak Harbor got the win. They will take on a 4 seed Elyria Catholic at their place, 7 p.m. And then we go all the way to the bottom. Swanton, a 22 seed, they took on Lima Bath last week, an 11 seed. Woof, Swanton lost 37-0. Which means Lima Bath will take on West Salem Northwestern. And yeah, that's your Division 5. Anything that sticks out to you in Division 5, guys?
Swanton took a Lima Bath. Got it. Okay, gotcha. I mean, I think looking at the brackets, I think that Oak Harbor is the team that I'm interested in. I'm really interested to see what that team is able to do. That's another one of those teams like Clyde, traditionally a strong program. They bounce in, they bounce out of the state rankings, and I think this is a team that has another opportunity to really do something big in Division 5.
I love it. All right, let's jump to Division 6. Yeah, Region 22. We're working our way through. All right, Gibsonburg, a 16 seed last week, took on Holland Wayne Trace, a 17 seed. This one was close. Gibsonburg got the 38-30 win, which means, unfortunately, fortunately, they'll take on the 1 seed Archbold in that region. It'll be at Archbold Place this Friday at 7 p.m. Yep, 1 seed versus a 16 seed, which means an upset could be brewing. We've learned this in sports. All right, Montpelier, a 25 seed. Ay, yikes, took on 8 seed Cary. Montpelier, they lost a lot, 63-0. So Cary will take on Ashland Crestview now. Ottawa Hills, little tack action. 13 seed took on foe Cardinal Stritch, who is a 20 seed. Ottawa Hills, the Green Bears got the 32-13 win, and they will take on Columbus Grove at their place, a 4 seed, Friday at 7 p.m. Delta, an 18 seed, took on Attica Seneca East, 15 seed. Ugh, so close. Delta lost. Final 32-28. And that's it for this. No, I lied. Northwood, heck yeah. They got a bye week. They're a 6 seed. And they will take on Van Buren, who's an 11 seed. They beat a 22 seed Paulding last week, 16-0. So Northwood hosting Van Buren this week. That'll be a good one. All right. That is I think we hit them all, you guys. That didn't seem like a lot. But I think that's all the scores in upcoming games.
And that's the playoffs, baby.
Yeah, we're appreciative of the playoffs. We're appreciative of the playoffs because of things like that. Being able to have, Northwood have a week off and Ken James get to prepare for his first playoff victory because he still don't have one.
Oh, wow.
So he's trying to get over that hump. I think that's something that's going to be huge for that program, and I see it happening, and I see potentially a little bit more because Demond Marks, Jay Moulton, them real dudes. They bad boys.
Yeah, Northwood, primed to get this victory. They got a week off to get healthy. There's nothing holding this team back. The only thing that can hold this team back is themselves. They've got to make sure that they maintain the focus and come back out there on Friday night, hitting on all cylinders and ready to take this victory.
I love it. All right, and then for a treat, some City League scores. TBS, they're only in week 2 of their season. Everyone is in going on week 8. Second week of playoffs. So we were at this game, John Gibson, you and I, Bowser taking on Woodward, and the Polar Bears got the 24-0 win at home. That was a big one for them. And an even bigger win, Rogers beat Scott 50-0. So there's your treat. A couple of City League schools. We'll continue to cover them throughout the week. They play on Thursdays and Fridays. Great times. All right, let's get into the games of the week. We have barely touched on Central Catholic Northview. Always a good matchup when 2 area teams battle it out. So you've got Central Catholic track champions taking on Northview, who's had an up and down season, but the Wildcats are there in week 2 of the playoffs. So what can we expect? I'll be a little more specific. How does Northview have a chance at slowing down, perhaps, the Central Catholic Fighting Irish?
I don't think they do. I don't think they do at all. Like, I think, in all honesty, Central Catholic is going to hit stride on this. They're going to bust their butt. And, this is going to be, honestly, it's a measuring stick game. If you're Northview, you've got everything to gain. You've got nothing to lose because everyone in the area is expecting, Central Catholic to turn this into a track meet. I think when you talk about Central Catholic, you're talking about a different kind of monster. You're talking about a different level of athlete over there. You're talking about Bishop Vargas and the way that he orchestrates that offense as both a running and throwing threat. I don't see Northview being able to pull off the upset. I think this one, probably is going to get ugly soon.
I take a look at that, and John, don't get me wrong. Northview is going to come out here and compete.
Yeah, without a doubt.
They're going to give everything that they have. It's just, is it enough? And I asked that rhetorically because I know you know the answer.
Right.
It's not going to be enough. But if you believe in yourself, I think you could probably feel that you could just get a stop here, get a turnover here. And that's kind of what Northview is going to have to do. They're going to have to piecemeal this game if they're going to win it. They're going to have to say, we need a 3-and-out every drive. This first few series, we need to get a 3-and-out, get these guys off the field. And I see that potentially helping that football team. Stopping Prentice Reason over for 4 quarters, that's the problem. That's where I don't see.
And that, I think that's what does it for me is I don't see stopping Preston Reason over for 4 quarters. I don't see Preston Reason over Prentice is okay. I don't see Prentice being shut down for this game. It would take a Herculean effort for this Northview team, and I think unless there's a major injury somewhere. But I think that's, again, Central Catholic's one of those schools where it's, we don't have backups, we just have more starters. The backups are just as good as some other team starters at Central Catholic. And it's one of those things where if Northview is able to pull the upset, it might be the biggest upset in the state this year, this week.
Certainly
decade, maybe?
Biggest upset. Definitely the biggest upset in the state. I agree. And to touch on that, Central Catholic, Danny, how long have they been waiting to play football?
How long have they what?
Been waiting to play football? Would you say 22 days?
It was like 22 days they had to sit out this season.
22 days of Central Catholic coaches getting to sit there and watch extra film. Mm-hmm. And I talked to defensive coordinator Ryan Brown. We spoke for a second, asked him a couple questions about some things here and there. And what he said was this: his defense is so thirsty to get back on the field because they feel shortchanged because they haven't been able to make those plays that they've been used to making all season. So guess what that means, JG? They feel like they're not getting the looks from the colleges, right? So now they're going to come out here and they're going to try to put on a show.
Oh, yeah. Listen, this game could very well be fireworks because you do have kids. Some of these kids are playing for their futures. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And because they had to sit out those games in the regular season, they're like, hey, we've got to be able to play 3, 4, 5 weeks here in the playoffs just to have decent film to send to these colleges. This has the potential to get really ugly.
Ooh, a 2 seed versus a 15 seed. I don't know. The one thing that I can look forward to from this game. First off, can I hear your predictions? Can you just give me your predictions?
You go do this. Are you gonna make us do this?
Yes,
you're gonna make us do this.
None of us are on this game directly. You go ahead.
Okay. Big prediction here. I'd say Central Catholic by 4 touchdowns. I don't know the score. They're a little rusty. They, handled Clay pretty well last game. Sat a week. Knock the rust off first couple drives. Take over, dominate. 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm even gonna go larger margin. I'm gonna say 56-10. I'm gonna say 56-10. I think the athletes that Central Catholic puts on the defensive side of the ball really frustrates Northview, and the game gets ugly quick. Excuse me.
I think the ugly quick comment is pretty accurate. Okay, the best part about whoever wins this game gets the winner of Anthony Wayne versus St. Francis. So in my mind, let's go on a whim. Say Central Catholic wins. They'll either get Anthony Wayne or St. Francis. Who would you guys rather see Central Catholic take on? We've seen them face the Knights already so far this season, and it wasn't very pretty.
I would say Anthony Wayne. We've been waiting on that game for years to come. Although I don't think this is the year of Max Denmans. You don't have that Mason Alberts out there. I think we could potentially see that depending on how Coach Brungard coaches his game. But if I do want to see Central Anthony Wayne, but I also want to see a rematch of Central Catholic St. Francis because it's just such an emotionally charged game. Both of the players from both teams play to a high standard. Whether the score says it or not, the effort on the field is a little bit better versus any other game. So retribution to be on the mind of St. Francis to get back at Central Catholic. They got to get through Anthony Wayne, but I like Anthony Wayne at Central Catholic because it shows the 2 dominant fixtures of those leagues, the NLL and the track, head to head.
Yeah, this for me, it's kind of a pick 'em. I really like the emotional aspect. I'll say this year, under most circumstances, my answer would be Anthony Wayne. I'm going to change my answer right in the middle of my answer.
Ooh.
No.
I started talking, and I was like, I don't care. Now, I actually want to see St. Francis.
Okay.
I want to see St. Francis. No shade to Coach Brungar. My guy Andy Pollock's on the staff down there. No shade at all. The thing is that this is not the Anthony Wayne team that is the world beaters that we wanted to see, the Titanic clash with Central Catholic. That's not what this team is. This St. Francis team, on the other hand, is trying to build something. And they've been getting sunned by Big Brother year after year after year. And this is another shot at the ball. And this is a rivalry game. I remember growing up as a kid watching the Steelers and the Browns play that third time in the playoffs and, in 94 and being like, yo, can they at least beat them one time? That's where we are with St. Francis and Central Catholic. This is an opportunity for them for St. Francis to make a statement and to disrupt some things that nobody thinks they even have an opportunity to do.
So here's the deal. You're already picking St. Francis to beat Anthony Wayne this week.
Here's the thing. You haven't asked me for my prediction
Danny tried to
yet.
get you. She tried to,
right.
She tried to get you.
She has not asked me for my prediction yet. What I will say is this. You ask me which game I'd rather watch.
Okay.
And I'd rather put popcorn in my popcorn popper and watch St. Francis versus Central Catholic as opposed to Anthony Wayne. Because the emotion's going to be there. You didn't ask me for my prediction yet. And when you ask, I'll give that.
Listen, I feel like this conversation will reflect in your score prediction if you give one. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So let's go back to Anthony Wayne, St. Francis. To what? I mean, would you call them two run-heavy teams? Anthony Wayne doesn't have a Max Denman. They have a Garrett Pike at quarterback, but he's also splitting time with an underclassman, the next future of the team, as Mike Robinson has put it to me. So how would you sum up both of these teams in the style of play that we'll see Friday?
I like the style of play to be a chess match. I think that Andy Brungar is going to step out on the football field and really look at the St. Francis team and say, I'm smarter than you. I'm going to outsmart this defense. I'm going to take pages out of what Dempsey's doing and the other teams that's beating you and use that against you. Now, the piece that comes into play is, do you have the bullets in the chamber to execute that? And I don't know that they have those same tools, but I like the coaching. I like that TJ Winston, H-back. I like what he can do in the flats. He can beat you vertically as well. Maybe that's a hint to the future. Something there's going to happen. But he can block well as well. So that running game with Renninger is going to be up to St. Francis defense and their linebackers and their safeties if they want to deal with that kid all night long. And he could potentially cause problems.
Well, that there's going to be a steady diet of Charles Renninger in this game. Mm-hmm. I look for him to put together some type of Herculean 30-plus carry effort. I hope he ate his Wheaties this week because, they're going to ride him. He's going to be the horse that's going to take them, in anywhere they're going to go, especially in this game. I think this is tough guy football. This is what Ohio football is. It's gonna be mano a mano. It's gonna be a slugfest. All of the cliches that you could potentially hear. That's what this game is gonna be. And so I'm looking forward to seeing. It's gonna come down to who makes the biggest mistakes. I think there's going to be a turnover.
Yeah.
There's going to be a blocked kick. There's going to be something along those lines that's going to stem the tide of the game. And that's what I'm looking forward to. It's going to be a well-played, well-coached game between two teams who really, really want to win and actually are pretty evenly matched. And I really think it's going to come down who mitigates the mistakes.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so here's the question. Who makes more mistakes? Who does not get through to the next round in this game?
I'm going to toss a coin up and say whoever lands on that side of the coin. You call heads, you call tails. it's a flip of the coin. And what I would say is this, and this is the toughest. I've never really been in this situation, Danny. So this is a weird predicament. So St. Francis has the better players. I feel like strategically Anthony Wayne's better, or they got the edge. Who can the players perform?
Yeah.
The coaches can perform, but can their players step up to the task as being asked? Yeah. I like said, it's a players' game. St. Francis should win this game. They should win it.
Yeah. I'm gonna step out and say, I'm not gonna waffle. I don't need any syrup. I'm gonna say St. Francis gets over the hump. I'm gonna say St. Francis gets over the hump. I'm gonna say Anthony Wayne just are not gonna be able to create the big plays that they're gonna need in order to win this game. That's just my prediction. I think St. Francis gets over the hump. They get a victory that they can plant their flag into the ground and say, hey, this is who we are, and this is where our program starts from this point forward. It's time for the Knights to get to that position where they can start planting flags in the ground and saying our team will never go below here. And right. that's what's going to have to happen there. I'm going to say this. I don't even want to call this as a statement win. This will be a program defining win for them.
I'll make a couple of two statements. They're not even relevant. Like, they don't even relate to each other. First off, I'm not an Anthony Wayne homer like most people think I am. I'm not even from here.
Low key.
I don't even know why you say that.
Tell everybody who your man is.
Oh, gosh. Oh, sue me over someone I met in college who happens to be from here. Anyways, I am not dumb enough to bet against Andy Brungard. I am a fan of Andy Brungard. He's great. Always spends a lot of time chatting with me to catch up on his team. And then my completely other non-related sentence statement is St. Francis is so freaking due to make a playoff run. I mean, Chipka's in his fourth year? I don't know if you guys have already said this. Yeah. Is he in his fourth year?
Yeah, it's fourth or fifth year. Yeah, he's been there for a while.
It's time. It's time. I expect the Knights to do something this season. So those are my two statements, completely unrelated to each other. Glad we had this talk. Okay.
I love you, Coach Brungard. You're my guy.
We love everybody.
Still got to talk to him for this upcoming game this week, but he is your guy. All right. Let's just give you the quick slate of games you can expect to watch this Friday on BCSN. I'm so pumped for most of them. Okay. Thursday, 6 p.m. We'll kick it off with Waite taking on Woodward in the City League. That's live on BCSN. Thursday, I just said that. All right, Friday, live on BCSN 2 at 6 p.m., another City League game. Rogers taking on Bowser. And then let's get into playoffs. St. Francis versus Anthony Wayne. Northview at Central Catholic. St. John's will host Barberton. Bowling Green will host Defiance. Napoleon. Oh, gosh, I'm going to get all over here. Okay, wait, I'll stay on Friday. We're going to go back out of playoff play. Monroe will take on Bedford. Always a super big game. What do they fight for? What, a boot? The Golden Boot? Does anyone know?
Yeah, they got something going on.
It's
trophy game.
It's a trophy game. I think it's a shoe. All right, and then back to the City League. Start will take on Scott. And then Saturday, oh my gosh, college football. You got high school football. Napoleon will host Firelands. That's at 7 p.m. Toledo Christian will host Stryker. That is also at 7 p.m. live on BCSN. And then Ottawa Hills will take on Columbus Grove at their place. That is at 11 p.m. That must be when we're showing the game on tape delay. So you can catch all of those games in some capacity this weekend. We're excited. Week 2 of playoffs. Any last thoughts, you guys?
Last thoughts, I think it's actually been a pleasantry in my opinion to have all these teams make the playoffs, get to see them compete at that kind of a level, see some teams in programs like Clay get over the hump, get their first playoff victory, get some of these teams get their first playoff appearance. I don't know if that really counts, but it counts, huh? It's COVID. You win the championship, it counts. Totally. But this is just a week of deep thought for me. It's going to be some brutal games this weekend, but I think it's not all bad. It's a lot of these teams that really need to just step up, take these playoffs seriously, take these opportunities, and realize, hey, we only got 6 games because this has been a shortened season anyway. So for me, I'm just grateful to be able to have the game of football. I know that some teams ain't getting the fair shake that they are, and I'm mainly alluding to the City League. Just go out there, compete, keep doing your thing, and we're going to keep talking about y'all. That's it.
You know, I think this is that moment where Brad Fiedel, the composer of the Terminator theme, that music's playing, right? You can hear it. Do-dum, dum, do-dum. That's what's going on right now. This is Terminator 2. This is Judgment Day.
Yes, it is.
Right? If you are about that life, you're going to show it this weekend. And if you ain't about that life, you're going to be exposed this weekend. And so the question becomes, which one of these teams really has that gumption to get to the next level? You look at a team like St. John's. I'm looking at you, St. John's. I'm looking at you, the Titans. I'm looking at you. You guys have an opportunity to move on to round 3 of the playoffs, playing against another program that has history of quality football. What are you going to do? St. Francis, I'm looking at you. What are you going to do?
Tell them.
You got the boogeyman coming to the stadium. What are you going to do? You know, Central Catholic, you've been off for a couple of weeks. Who cares? What are you going to do? Show us. We don't want to hear about it. Show us. And as always, don't tweet me.
Drop the mic, JG. That's why he got a Grammy. An Emmy. He gonna get a Grammy too. Watch that.
In my veins.
I felt the Grammy on it, but that's an Emmy. That's a little bit of both. That
little
boy,
bit, little
that
something,
boy
something.
bad.
Little
that
something,
boy
something.
bad, man. No, he really got
Well,
an Emmy, y'all. He
I was
really
gonna
do.
follow up with even my own thoughts, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna go first next time.
I shouldn't even said nothing.
Not after John
Just
Gibson.
next week, just ask JG what's his thoughts, because clearly whatever I said, we can just delete it.
Yeah. All right. My last thoughts are definitely slide into John Gibson's DMs. Don't slide into mine or Mike Rob's though, please. But definitely slide
Please
into
don't.
JG's. Please do it so we can talk about it on this show. Oh God, I would die. All right, that's it. We went through so many scores, so many games. I hope you all stuck with us through all of this. There's a lot of papers involved, a lot of highlighters, pen marking on my end, of course.
And we appreciate it.
Oh God, I appreciate you guys. Wow, we just one big happy family. Okay, that is the 419 football show. We just recapped everything from week 2 of playoffs, week 2 of the City League, and we will do it all again next week. I know we were really pumped for this week's matchups. Now I'm even more pumped for next week's. So tune in then. I don't know. These shows drop Thursday, Wednesday. We'll let y'all know. I'm Dannie Rogers. For Mike Robinson, John Gibson, thanks for tuning in. And we will see you right here next week.
Deuces.
Peace.
Alrighty, I'm going to tape a little open and send it to you, Mike Rob.